Hamzed, when's my flight to Neon for the draw, mate? 1 second. Hello? Napoleon? G'day, mate. Yeah, me calf is Yeah, some shiller bet me I couldn't lift a keg with my legs, and turns out she was right. Yeah, mate, those things weigh a ton. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome to Season 13, Episode 7 here at H&W Welders, and today it's all about the league, it's festive football, it's January 1st, Happy New Year for 2033, and we're going to be facing Linfield and somebody else, Carrick Rangers is the second game, and let's not make any bones about it, we are in a title race this season, and, well, we're not playing particularly well at an unfortunately high percentage of the time, but there is a lot to catch you up on since last episode, starting with the news that Napoleon is injured. He's pulled a calf muscle. Hopefully we're looking at closer to the 2 weeks than the 3 weeks, but as we know, January, December as well, into February, 3 weeks out it's almost half a season, it feels like. We seem to play every second day, so that's a big blow, and hopefully, as I say, he'll be back sooner rather than later, because he's been a wonderful player for us, hasn't he? He really has. I love Napoleon with all my heart. And, well, as I say, let's hope he's back sooner rather than later. Now, another thing that's happened is we've had our youth intake preview. And we can see here, and there is a lot of yellow, not too much green, and the killer is down the bottom there. This is a very poor crop of players, unfortunately. So there's a healthy number of new fullbacks in the pipeline. There's at least one goalkeeper that looks a great prospect. We have one good young Northern Irish goalkeeper from Clare, who has caught the eye, and that's pretty much it. We won maybe 2 goalkeepers if we're lucky, and a lot of fullbacks that aren't very good, as we can see here. The fullbacks coming up are not the best, so let's not hold our breath on this one. We've had some good players come through the youth in the last few seasons, so maybe we were due a bit of a dud one. Now, the big thing we've got to catch you up on, of course, is the Europa League draw. We are in the first knockout round of that, having secured our passage, or our parachute, I should say, from the Champions League into the Europa League last episode. So let's see who it is that we draw in the first knockout round. So, Europa League, first knockout round draw. Let's have a look here and see who we could get. Now, is it an open draw? It is an open draw. So we've got, this is in no order particularly. So Basel, Celta Vigo, ourselves, Lyon, Marseille, Rangers, Real Sociedad, Royal Antwerp. Back to the, did I just see Manchester City? I did. Cagliari, Celtic, Lask Linsk, Manchester City. What are they doing in here? Porto, RB Leipzig, Rosenborg, and Sporting. If we can avoid Manchester City, I'll take anybody else, to be honest. So let's get this draw underway. It will almost certainly be Manchester City, of course. And we are first team out, and it is Marseille. Now, we've played Marseille in last year's Europa League, and we beat them. So I think we've got to fancy our chances. Are we a better team this season than last season? I'd like to think so. I guess time will tell, won't it? But not the easiest draw by any means. Obviously, Marseille is still a decent side. But having beaten them last year, I think we can go into that tie with a little bit of confidence, can't we? We can see the rest of how everybody was worked out there. Unfortunately, City have got a relatively soft draw in Lask Linsk. Sporting or RB Leipzig will be knocked out, so that's a positive for us, I think, if we can get past Marseille. But we'll find out if we can get past Marseille in a few episodes' time, at home for the first leg as well. Hopefully, we'll be able to not concede an away goal and put ourselves in a good position. But there we go. It's Marseille again in the Europa League. And I didn't realise it at the time, but it was the exact same stage last season we faced Marseille. So that is, well, it's deja vu all over again, isn't it? Now, one thing I did want to quickly show you is Jeffrey Atwell. We are not retraining him. We're looking to get a player trait to switch ball into wide areas. Now, the reason I'm doing that is last episode, I think it was last episode, or was it in between episodes? And we'll catch up on the in between episodes in just a second. But he had a wonderful ball out wide from one side of the pitch to the other. He's an excellent passer of the ball, a world-class passer of the ball, and it sort of just got a bit of a brainwave. And after I recovered from the headache, I thought we should get him to do that more often. If he's going to play as a deep line playmaker, just spread the ball left wing, right wing. It could really work for us. So we're training him to do that more often, and hopefully we'll see a good benefit of that in the coming weeks, months, and well, even years. Now, that is everything caught up on off the field, which means we've got to catch you up on what's happening on the field. So after a disappointing episode last time out where we didn't score a goal, we faced Porto down in the league. Let's see what we did against them. We took the lead when Brady's shot fell for Armstrong. Lutique crossed for Brady to make it 2-0. And it was deja vu for our third. Late cross for McDade to make it 4-0. And it was 5-0 at half-time when Armstrong crossed for McDade's second. Before Armstrong slipped in late for our sixth in the second half. So a really good performance from us this one. Armstrong really did just run the show in there. McDade getting goals. Armstrong scoring a few this season as well. And Brady with a double as well. You can see from the XG tracker, from the match stats, absolutely dominant this was, which is wonderful to see. Next up, it was a top-of-the-table clash against Larne. Let's see how we did. We were 1-0 down at half-time. And then 2-0 down in the 87th minute. We got a late goal back through McKay, but we fell to defeat. So we were really, really poor in this one, and not necessarily poor through the whole game, just in front of goal. You can see we had loads and loads of chances. McDade missed a penalty, which obviously wasn't ideal. And yeah, we just had a few stuff-ups at the back. Abbott continues to be unimpressive at left back. And yeah, it's a real shame, but as I said at the top, we are very much in a title race this season, and it's games like this that are putting us there. Next up, it was a game against Glentoran, again in the league. Let's see if we could rebound. Barr picked out Lake to give us the lead. And Brady crossed for Lake to get his second to give us a 2-0 half-time lead. Lake turned provider for McManus to get his first Welders goal. Before McQuaid set up McManus for his second to complete the scoring. So a much better performance this one from us. Again, we missed a penalty. McManus going for a hat-trick. It was good to see him getting goals, his first goals for us. Obviously coming back from that broken ankle. So it's it's nice to see him getting himself on the score sheet. But again, you can look at the XG tracker, and we were very much the better team. It was day and night. Such a better performance from us. Next up, again in the league, it was Glenavon. Let's see if we could beat the other Glen. Napoleon's pass split the defence for Brady to give us the lead. Before Napoleon's cross was headed in by McDade for our second. And we took Route 1 for McDade to get his second. Before Glenavon pulled one back before half-time. McDade's shot resulted in an own goal to make it 4-1. And then the game did that thing where it stuffs up and doesn't quite record the highlights properly. McDade got a penalty for number 5 for us, and then the Napoleon free kick. It's such a shame. It was a goal of the season contender, and I was devastated that the game didn't quite manage to save it for us. But a McDade hat-trick, Napoleon running the show, and another very good performance from us, even though our actual midfield duo didn't play particularly well. And they went down to 10 men as well late on. That was actually the second booking there, was the foul that led to Napoleon's won the goal, which unfortunately I can't share with you. It's such a shame. The final game they catch you up on was against Dungannon. This is again in the league, so let's go and have a look. We took the lead when Napoleon scored from an impossible angle. And Atwell played in McDade to make it 2-0 at half-time. Atwell sent McCracken in for our third. Before Dungannon pulled one back. So a comfortable win this one, which is always nice. We just got the job done. Napoleon with a nice one. Yeah, just generally speaking, it was a good win for us. Now, if we go and have a quick look at what all this means for the league table, you can see we are 2 points ahead of Larne. Linfield are sticking in there this season, only 4 points behind us. No games everybody's played, as you can see there, the 20 games. So if we were to lose to Linfield, not only would we likely fall off the top of the league if Larne won, Linfield would only be a point back as well. So it is all to play for here. And yeah, this is a big episode, despite the fact it's 2 games in the league. Carrick Rangers, of course, is the second game. Look at the gap, though, between Coleraine, who's kind of in no man's land, and then it just drops right off, doesn't it? It's really, really tight after that. But let's have a look and see what we're doing here. We haven't got any transfers across the line as of yet. We did have a bid come in from Larne for Tommy Martin. Obviously, we laughed at them. But this is the team we're sending out for this one. Zanetti in goal, Ellis, Kidd, Martin, and Monaghan as the back four. Ozioma and Richard in midfield. It's Brady, Armstrong, and McKay. McDade up top. There's been a lot of squad rotation, trying to keep players as fresh as possible. We have had a little bit of a let up in the schedule, the last sort of in between the Glenavon and Dungannon games. But Dungannon was Boxing Day. We're here again January 1st, and we're about to start that stupid run that we go on in January. So lots and lots of rotation. Let's see what these guys can do. All right, so we can see the team sheets here. Jidda is still there for them. McCreevy, also Wilson. So a few of our old boys are there. But we don't need to worry about them anymore, do we? We're the favourites. We've been on a good run lately. Let's go with that. And yeah, this is a big game. We are at home, which should hopefully help us. We're expecting a sellout, and his name is Jordan McGreevy, of course. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we can do here. Now, Tommy Martin, he was also the runner-up in the Irish Player or Young Player of the Year. I can't remember. And I put it all on the Discord earlier today. Again, if you're not on the Discord, a lot of the in-between episode stuff, off-the-field stuff, I post up there and just general chit-chat. So there's a link to that in the description. Aussie Oma with a good ball forward for McKay, and it's 9 minutes in, and Martin McKay has given us the lead. Excellent, excellent start. Let's give them some praise. And the pass from Aussie Oma wasn't too bad at all, was it? The injury to Resnicek has mean we've had to play him. I mean, he's good enough to play in the league anyway, but we've had to play him a little bit more than perhaps we were initially expecting to when we signed him. He is just a youngster, of course, let's not forget. If we can show you his attributes here, we will. Yeah, we go. We can see they're 18 years old. But yeah, just the injury to Resnicek has mean he's had to play a little bit more than I was sort of planning on him doing. Armstrong has fallen for McDade, and McDade gets a second. A 26th of the season for him. Now, we weren't trying to get him the record this year. He's already got it last year. He has been absolutely superb. He's back to his very, very best form, and he may go and break the record again anyway. He's surely got to be looking good for... It's a little bit of luck there, the way it fell for him, but he took it well, didn't he? He's got to be looking good for a 4th consecutive European Golden Shoe as well at this rate. There's just seems to be no stopping him. Only injury, you would imagine. Now, we've got a free kick here for Armstrong. He can whip in a set piece, and oh, he's only gone and done it. What a strike that is from Anthony Armstrong. Goalkeeper, no chance. It's 3-0 after 14 minutes. And we are sending out a title warning here, aren't we? Oh, that is superb. There is no goalkeeper getting anywhere near that. The wall side of the goal as well. And yeah, well, that is just a little bit special, isn't it? All right, Armstrong, who I've got to say this season, I guess in the league, there's another ball through for McDade. He's gone a little bit wide there. Keeps possession nicely. Armstrong is bouncing around. Is it going to fall for? Here's a penalty. It looks like McDade was tripped. He's going to pick himself up. And could this be 4-0 in the 17th minute? He's not always the best. He is statistically, attribute-wise, I should say, our best penalty taker. But he does, just as a team, we seem to miss a lot of penalties. But a 27th of the season, a second of the game. And it is 4-0. And we are in the 17th minute, 18th minute. Jidda went the right way, but he was nowhere near that, was he? And, well, this could be anything at this point. I did have another word with the board about trying to expand the stadium or get a new stadium, and they just don't want to do it, which is frustrating because there's games like this where we do sell out, and we have the money to do it, but I equally kind of get that, you know, we don't always get the biggest crowds. Oh, speaking of not always getting the biggest crowds, I don't think it's going to shock anybody that the crowd that we did get for the Dinamo Zagreb game last episode, it was a Champions League record for the lowest attendance. So that's a bit of a shame. Just over 1,000 people. I mean, we get more than that at Tillysburn sometimes. All right, here we go with Monaghan forward. Cross in. McDade is there. Falls for McKay. Back to Aussie Oma. Back to Monaghan. Can he pull it back? It's McKay, and McKay gets a 5th before half-time. A 10th of the season for him now, and... well, this is getting a little bit embarrassing if you're a Linfield fan, isn't it? And don't we love to see it? All these goals going in front of the Linfield fans as well, which is extra special. Didn't panic, worked the space, and there is McKay. McDade could have got himself the hat-trick there as well, of course, but anyway, that's fine. Is that going to be the half-time score? It looks like it is, and what a first half it's been. 5-0 over Linfield. And this is the frustrating thing, isn't it? On our day, we know we can do this to teams, but we equally have days where we just don't look like... I mean, that game against Dundalk last episode, where we don't look like we even know what a football is. Never mind be able to play it at a professional level. So, to be fair, our XG is quite low. Maybe we're just taking some chances this game, but, I mean, yeah, we're playing so well, aren't we? There's a ball in. Brady with a header, but that goes just wide. But, yeah, I mean, I did kind of manipulate, I guess, squad selection to make sure this was our strongest team for this game. Obviously, they are still one of the better teams in the league, and that's just over the bar from Tommy Martin. Yeah, they're still one of the best teams in the league, so you know we want to make sure, especially now when we're sort of in that European break over the winter, we don't want to be we don't want to be we want to be sort of putting our strongest team out where we can. And of course, there's always the problem we run into where players at this point, they want to make sure they're playing games. Here we go with McDade. Can he get himself a hat-trick? He has a go. Jitter is there. McKay, of course, is also on a hat-trick, and maybe the better option might have been to try and tee him up at the back post. But yeah, we always run into this problem at this time of the season where McKay's quite tired. The game's won. Let's try McCracken as a left winger. He is left-footed. We signed him as a striker, but there's nothing there that suggests he couldn't be a winger. Let's give him some praise. And, well, it's been a wonderful performance, hasn't it? It tends to be the case in games like this. We got all the work done in the first half, but 5-0 over Linfield. And we have come roaring back to form with that one. Wonderful stuff, boys. So Larne got the win, but well, again, there's a bit of a daylight there now to Linfield, 7 points, but Larne still only the 2 points behind us. So 5-star Welders triumph. McCracken with didn't even notice he got injured. Another bonus set there for Armstrong, and the problem with giving out these large bonuses is that it's too easy for them in the league to earn that money. But anyway, it's fine. They're playing well, so we'll pay the money. And, well, there we go. We've got the Island Boss looking at Tommy Martin. Guys, wait right there. We'll be back to take on Carrick Rangers. The transfer window is opened, of course. Yeah, I don't know if we'll have anybody across the line this soon, but you never know. Okay, welcome back. Now, we may not have a new signing, but what we do have is Jacob Gill with work permit in hand, returning to the club. So he we'll get a first look at him in this game against Carrick Rangers. It's good to finally see him in a Welders shirt, and hopefully he'll do a good job for us. Now, with the window open, we have had a few bids for some of our players. NAPOLEON has had a bid come in from China. Potoknik has had a bid come in. I'm assuming that's from Italy. And if we go down a little bit further here, we did also have a bid come in for, what's his face, Picasso. Here it is here again, same team that came in for NAPOLEON, so they're obviously looking for that sort of a player. But we've rejected them all. If Gill hits the ground running, I would be open to selling Picasso, but I don't want to do it just yet. Gill may need a little bit of time to settle in. But anyway, that is what's happened off the field, and let's go and have a look and see what's happening on it now, because we are facing a bus park in the shape of Carrick Rangers, a 4-1-4-1 formation, and this is the team we're sending out. So it's Zanetti in goal, it's Ellis, Lewis, Vogler, and Hill as the back four, Atwell and Miss Kelly in midfield, Scully, Gill, as we're going to try him as a shadow striker to start with, and just see how he gets on. It's going to be McKay continuing down that left-hand side. I see he's got a heavy workload, so actually maybe it won't be. What we'll do is we will bring on Dylan Lake for this one, and McDade will go. McDade's got a heavy workload as well, so let's give McManus a game up top, and we'll keep McDade on the bench just in case we need him. So here are the team sheets, just the one name, Michael Keane, who came through our academy, but I don't recognise anybody else there. And what do we want to say? We've been on a good run. Do we just keep going with that? I guess we do. Vogler's looking aggressive, so that's good. He's up for he's up for the game. It's Eduardo 2.0. And yeah, here we go. Now, the other thing that has happened is that it's at Baystone. The goalkeeper we got in on low when it looked like Zanetti was going to leave. He's gone back to wherever, I think it was at Leicester we got him from. We weren't using him. I think it's Sean Dyche, actually, that's the manager at Leicester. He was complaining he wasn't playing, so I just said, just take him, mate. Just take him back. We don't need him. Good first touch there by Lake. Lake, Jordan, now how he give many penalties does Dylan Lake win? He just is a penalty-winning machine. And McManus now with a chance to get a first goal on the channel. Come on, mate. Can he stick it away for us? Yes, he can. Straight down the middle. Brian McManus, a third goal of the season. A first one on YouTube, as I say. And that is excellent, excellent stuff. Goalkeeper just jumped out of the way of it nicely for us. And that's 1-0. I'm going to run out of goal celebration songs. way this episode's going. And what a nice problem that is to have. We've got defending to do here, though. Gill does well. And, well, I'm not quite sure what the defender's doing there, but he's let McManus in behind now. He's not the quickest. Is that going to be another penalty? It is. It looked like a bit of a lungy, silly challenge to make. Now, is McManus going to go straight down the middle again? Or is he going to try going to one side this time? McManus goes to the other side, and he has 2 penalties inside 10 minutes. And I don't think we could really argue with either penalty. They both looked, to me anyway, they both looked like penalties. Second one maybe a little bit less so than the first one, but it looked a bit of an agricultural challenge, didn't it? We can see Linfield has taken the lead. The one we're looking for at this point, though, is Larne. They are, after last game, our title rivals for this one. There's that Atwell pass. It's sumptuous, isn't it? What a left foot he has. Scully can't get the cross in, though. Ball forward. We don't win that, but Lewis will sweep in and pick it up for us. Here we go with Hill. Forward to Miss Kelly. Back to Hill. Look at Atwell. He's got space. Gill. Forward there for Lake. Atwell. Miss Kelly gets it wide there for Ellis. Cross into the box. It's Gill. Oh, and Jacob Gill gets a debut goal for us. It was terrible goalkeeping. It's 3-0, and he's come back from Germany. We've waited, how many? It seems like we've waited about 3 seasons for him to play a game for us. And he's capped off his debut 20-odd minutes into it with a headed goal. And he wouldn't have seen goalkeeping like that in the Bundesliga, that's for sure. But there we go. Wonderful stuff. 3-0 it is. 8-0 for the episode. McManus is still on a hat-trick, of course. And we've got some defending to do here. Headed away by Lewis. This Carrick Rangers side, it is a useful team. Where's this guy here is a very decent player who we were looking at signing at one point, and Lake unleashes a vicious shot, but the goalkeeper shows he can actually play a little bit in goal and makes a decent save. Scully with a corner. Ball in. It's Vogler, was it? And it's off the line. And it's cleared upfield. So yeah, there is some talent in their team, which is... no, they said they were a little bit further down this season, weren't they? And they have beaten us before. They beat us in one of the cups, I think, last year, didn't they? Here we go with Dylan Lake, and that is pushed past the post. And if we get another shot here, we might just give it a focus. Atwell, corner into a good area, but it's headed away. Lake gets there first, ahead of former teammate Michael Keane. I think he did play once or twice in our first team, but he never really got it close to establishing himself, obviously, because we released him. There's a nice ball for Scully to Miss Kelly. Oh, looking for Gill, but can't quite find him, but Lewis wins it back for us. Ellis to Atwell to Miss Kelly. Scully's making a good run. Oh, he does that so well, and it's a wonderful goal. Miss Kelly with a nice pass to find him, but Scully's little runs like that off the ball in behind... oh, they're absolutely brilliant. We will have to start, and I don't know how likely we are to get the likes of Scully, Lake, and McKay back on loan again next season. We will obviously be trying. I would sign them all permanently. Where the issue we would have, of course, with that is not so much wages, but transfer budget. I think we still have 150 grand a week we could spend on players, and obviously we could move some of that into a transfer budget, but whether we could do both, I think, is... yeah, it's we had the same problem with Barla, didn't we? We can do transfer fee or wages. We do struggle to do both. And that sort of that becomes the problem managing this sort of a impossible dream style save, is that it's the money. It's so frustrating. But we'll see what we can do. If we can just keep loaning them back, that's absolutely fine. Alright, I wonder if what we might do here... McManus is on a hat-trick, so I don't want to take him off, but let's try Gilles a little bit further forward, but as a deep liar, which is what I was thinking of doing anyway, so that works. Is anybody tied? Not particularly. Is there anybody... we wouldn't mind giving Burian a game at right back. He's, of course, our young... another Czech player that we're looking to bring through a little bit. And maybe Boubacar? Let's give Boubacar a game out there on that right wing, even for Scully. And yeah, I mean, at 4-0, it's relatively safe, isn't it? But we'll change things down that right-hand side and give some youngsters a go. I'm increasingly thinking, I don't think Bargy is going to quite make it with us. He's not quite kicking on as I would have liked. But I think some of the problem... Oh, that's some horrible defending. What is that? So there goes the clean sheet. Let's give it a focus. I don't want to... I do want to berate them, but I'm not going to berate them. Burian, not sure. I mean, defensively is supposed to be the strength of his game. I'm not quite sure what Lewis is doing. Zanetti just looks a little bit confused by what's going on in front of him, and it's 4-1. That did look a little bit like complacent defending, though, didn't it? Let's hope that we're not going to see any more of that. Can we win this ball back? McManus is there. Can't quite get to it, though. McManus should really be dropping, should stay me in, and Gill should be dropping back, if anything, but that's okay. It's the first time they've played together, of course. Vogler gets it wide there for Budgie, in for Miss Kelly. Atwell. Another wonderful ball out wide there to Lake. We've got the players in the box. 3, 4 of them now. We go back to Atwell for Miss Kelly. He does love a long-range effort, but he goes wide there for Burian. What's he going to do? Nice little back heel flick. 1-2 there with Miss Kelly. Drills it in. McManus. Can he pull it back? Burian's still there. He does eventually get across in. It's Dylan Lake. And he can't find the back of the net when he probably should have, let's be honest. We are still looking complacent. We'll praise them. Atwell with a ball in. It's fallen for Budgie. He gets his second goal of the season. His second goal for the club. And, well, the defending for their goal was bad. I mean, that's not much better, is it? An unmarked Budgie in front of goal is not a good thing. Glentoran's taken the lead against Larne. Well, that could be massive. 5-1, we've won this one. Absolute dominance. McManus and Gill with the goals, and Budgie as well. Nice to see some new names on the score sheet. We will say don't get complacent, because there seems to be a lot of complacent players there. We'll tell a couple of these guys here they didn't play well. If you're going to look complacent, then I'm going to say you're crap. All right, let's move on. So Glentoran, local rivals, do us a massive favour. They've beaten Larne. That's a 5-point gap now. And once again, we're the 5-star Welders. KG press conference from Keane. Gilles scores on debut, which is always nice. And Ellis, 92% pass completion rate. Very, very impressive, mate. And yeah, well, there we go. That is 5 games, 1 in a row now as well. Guys, if you've enjoyed that, make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. We are slowly but surely closing in on this league title, aren't we? So that's a good thing. And we've taken a big step towards it this episode, of course. And we'll be back next time. What did I say we were going to do this time? It would be Linfield in the County Antrim Shield final, and Coleraine is maybe the better game in the league than the bottom team. They're coming fourth. So that's what we'll do next time, and we'll be well and truly into the transfer window at that point, and who knows, maybe we'll have a signing or two as well. Take care.